Conflict and tension between the East and West, 1945 to 1972. The Berlin Wall. In August 1961, the Soviet Union built a concrete wall to separate East and West Berlin. Whoever tried to cross was shot, but many were desperate to see separated family. Within the first year, 41 East Berliners were shot. Khrushchev saw the wall as victory as it has stopped the refugee crisis. In 1963, JFK made a speech in West Germany questioning if communism is such an ideal system, why build a wall? JFK also used the opportunity to show the US's commitment to West Berlin. This angered the communists, thinking he was causing trouble. Tensions over Cuba. In 1959, Fidel Castro came into power in Cuba in a communist revolution. After relations with Cuba deteriorated, the US planned to remove Castro. This was called the Bay of Pigs. Rather than invade, the CIA trained 1,500 Cuban exiles who left Cuba when Castro came to power. The CIA was certain that the Cuban people would rise up and overthrow Castro. However, it went badly wrong. The CIA failed to understand Castro's popularity and that he was in fact inspecting them. The US refused to buy Cuban sugar. This Bay of Pigs pushed Castro towards the Soviet Union, and Khrushchev sent military supplies to Cuba. He claimed to be defending Cuba from future US attacks. However, the situation changed in October 1962 as a U-2 spy plane took photos of Cuba. These photos showed intermediate range missile bases, which could be used as defense, while Khrushchev claimed not to have. Kennedy quarantined Cuba to prevent Soviet ships. Khrushchev sent a letter to Kennedy offering to move the missiles if the US promised not to invade Cuba and remove the quarantine. He then promised to remove the missiles if the US removed theirs from Turkey. Kennedy accepted the first offer, but in a secret deal later, the US promised to remove its missiles from Turkey. Khrushchev was humiliated as he had backed down. Mao Zedong and Soviet politicians criticized him, and he was sacked in 1964, replaced by Brezhnev. A telephone line was set up between Moscow and Washington. There started to be movements to stop the growth of nuclear weapons. The Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty of 1968 saw that the 5 nuclear countries agreed not to help each other countries develop nuclear weapons of their own.